shape, please. This way, mate.
This way round. Thank you. Straight down. Perfect.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Pride Park Stadium. A very exciting day for Derby County. I'm delighted to welcome Philip Cocu and Wayne Rooney. We're going to start with Rob.
Wayne, many congratulations. Great to see you here. This all seems to have happened very, very quickly. How did it come about from your perspective?
Yeah, it was obviously my agent spoke to the club and the owners here. It became apparent that there was a deal which could happen, so I had a decision to make, and the opportunity to come back in England and play, but also to take up a coaching role with the club and work under Philip was too great for me to turn down. So no, I'm delighted to be back here, and I'm looking forward to come back in January and trying to help the team push forward and hopefully push for promotion.
Mel Morris, the club's owner, has told us he sees this as signing a player first and foremost, and as a coach with experience secondary to that. You've talked a lot about your ambition to become a manager in the future. Is that how you see it as well, though? You want to play first and foremost?
No, firstly, I'm a player. I feel I've got a lot of quality which I can bring to the squad. So, as you said, first and foremost, I want to come in and play and try and help the team. And then, secondly, I want to try and learn, obviously, off Philip and his staff to gain experience for obviously when I do stop playing and go into to that next step.
You've won 16 major trophies, England's all-time leading goal scorer, and yet here you are talking about the appetite to play in England's second tier. Where do you still get that desire from?
That's football. It's what I've done my whole life. It's what I love, and until my body says that you can't do it no more, then I'll keep doing it.
What about the Championship? It can be pretty unforgiving in terms of the number of games and the demands. Are you ready for that? How do you feel? Do you go to play in every game, or do you think you'll have to manage it a little bit?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think obviously I'm a player who knows my body. I know I'm experienced enough now to know that if I feel like I maybe can't play in one game and I have to sit out that game, then obviously I'll speak with the manager over that. But no, I think I feel good. I've played obviously the whole season in the States, so yeah, I feel good.
Positionally, might we see you maybe dropping a little bit deeper in the year and 18 months to come, perhaps playing a bit more of the quarterback role like you saw David Beckham doing? I wonder whether that might suit you. Whether you thought about that?
Yeah, I think that's something which I'm sure we've still got till January to see that, and obviously the manager where he sees me playing in. But that's not a problem. I feel I can play in midfield, I can play as a striker, so I'm sure in certain games that might change.
You talk very highly of Louis van Gaal and the tactical nous he had, the coaching ability that he had at Manchester United. Of course, he's a countryman of the man sitting alongside you, Philip Cocu. Did you gauge his opinion or from anybody else connected with him before finding out about the man alongside you?
No, I think once obviously this opportunity was there and I had a decision to make, I spoke with Philip on the phone and to see what the situation was with him. I think it's important you speak to the manager and get the manager's opinion, and after the phone call I was happy with the situation and wanted to come here. So but I haven't spoke to Louis or to be honest, we've been trying to keep it quiet, so I haven't really spoke to anyone on it.
Where are you at the stage with your coaching badges? I know you've started them.
Yeah, obviously in the process of trying to get through them as quickly as I can, and I've got someone from the FA coming out to the States next week to obviously continue with them, and yeah, I think as soon as I can get them done, obviously the better.
What is it that appeals to you about being a manager at some stage in the future? I mean, we've seen some of your England teammates, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, etc., have done very well. Phil Neville with England women now as well. How do you see it at this stage? Is it them, ploughing a furrow that you want to follow?
No, I think it's great to see them obviously going into management, but it's something which, it's not just what they're doing now, it's something which I've always had the ambition to do. So, and obviously it's great that these young English managers are getting an opportunity. I feel over the last 15-20 years we haven't seen so many England players going into management, so it's great to see them doing that. But it's something which I've always wanted to do, and when that time is right, of course, that's what hopefully I can move into. But as I said before, my first aim is to play.
In DC United, you felt you wanted to go back there and finish the season with them. Explain that to us.
Yeah, it's only fair to them that they've been fantastic to me. We're in a good position in the league, and there's 9 games left of the season. I think it'd be disrespectful for them if I didn't finish the season and try and help us get into the playoff spot and try and win a trophy. So, but no, I think that was always the plan, and then obviously to join here in January.
Last question for me to Philip, if that's okay. I'm sorry we left you sitting there for a while, but you've got a couple of superstars that sitting next to you, so we had to concentrate on him for a while. Philip, how much of a coup is this? How much of a surprise is this to get the man sitting alongside you as a Derby County player come January?
Well, of course, it's a great signing for the club and for the team. Play with his quality, his experience. He's absolutely a big asset for the club. Also the way we work with a lot of youngsters coming up, and so to help the team to develop, and I think we can help him in his future role as being a coach or being a manager. So I think it's a perfect moment to join together and then to work together.
Okay, thank you very much. We've got a question here. If you can just pass that back. Thank you very much.
Wayne, how much of a family decision and a lifestyle decision was this move to come back to England as well?
Yeah, it's obviously something which we looked at. Obviously 4 young boys, and it's certainly for my eldest boy. It's a crucial time in his school period. So of course that's first of all the most important thing to me, and it's something which we looked at, and then also the opportunity to come back here and play, and obviously, as I said before, be part of the next transition in my career. So no, it weren't solely on family. It was a few factors which led me to come back here.
What sort of a manager do you eventually want to be? Is there anyone who you think of when you think of your management career?
I don't know. No, I think that's in the future. I think be foolish of me to sit here and say I want to be like, of course we all want to be like the great managers, but that's for the future. I think for now I'm going to concentrate on playing, and then obviously coming in January and trying my best to help the team.
Thank you.
You talked about how quickly the deal was done and about how you tried to keep it under wraps. By keeping it under wraps, obviously it meant that Derby became the place you would definitely end up. You could have given yourself options. Why did you choose not to? Why did you focus in on Derby County once they came?
No, there was options there. There was other clubs who were making offers and inquiring about me, but I think I made the decision to come here, and then that was it. So I weren't going to go back on my decision. So I think for the last week we have obviously been trying to work out a deal with DC, which obviously allowed me to go back there and play also. And then we got to that decision, and here we are today. So no, I think as I said before, the opportunity to work with Philip and his staff, and then come here, and I think not only that, Derby is a club with great ambitions. I think you've seen over the last few years they're putting a lot of money into the club. They're trying to take that next step to get into the Premier League, and I felt like it was a a place where I could come in and use my experience and try and help them to achieve the goals.
And presumably you must believe they can finally take that step after so long now.
Yeah, of course. I think the squad of players is a good squad, and I'm sure the manager will try and get a few more players in now, whether that's now or January. And yeah, of course, you'd have to believe your squad is good enough to take that next step, and we'll work hard to make sure we can do that.
Philip, on Thursday, I asked you whether you were replacing the youth that had gone with youth coming in, and you gave me an answer that included talking about how important it was to have experienced players. Was that because you knew this was going to happen, and you had this in your mind as someone who was coming in at that stage?
No, this is just the way I think about it. How you need to balance your team, and how you, as a manager, can fit in a few young, talented players alongside some experienced players who can guide, who take the responsibility during games, on trainings, and so the youngsters can focus on only the football. I think this is the way to get in youngsters from your own academy.
What most excites you about having Wayne Rooney in the team?
Yeah, it's a star player with extreme quality as a player, great career. So it's not only the quality of the player we get in the squad, but also his experience. And this is something that the team will benefit a lot from. Not only young players, but the whole team. We set goals, how we can achieve the goals, and so we're extremely lucky to have him.
Pass that. Great, thank you.
Wayne, you've got absolutely nothing to prove as a player, we know that, but this is a new job for you. When you start a new job, you're excited, you're worried, you're nervous. How are your feelings about stepping into coaching for the first time?
Yeah, I think, as I said before, it's it's what I want to do, and obviously I don't want to keep talking about it, but my main focus is playing and learning. So I think with any new role you take up, the first thing you want to do is to learn that role and learn the best things to do and the things not to do. So I think that's what I'll be doing certainly in the next 18 months, and trying to learn good habits which coaches do. So of course I've played under some great managers, and certainly towards the last 5 years, for instance, you try and look at things in different ways with one eye on going into that role. So I'll keep trying to learn over this period and give my best on the pitch.
Some of us can remember when you were a teenager breaking into the game. There'll be young lads at Derby who will be at that same age looking up to you. How important is it to show them the right way? If you're learning, they're learning as well. How exciting is that for you?
Yeah, of course, it's exciting. It's always great for any player to see young players coming through and enjoying the football. And I think that's the main thing for young players, as the coach said before. If you can get young players on the pitch enjoying the football but not overthinking it, and you have experienced players around them who can at times guide them through games, through periods in games which you will need. I needed it as a young player. I was lucky enough to have some very good experienced players who helped me when I was a young player. So I think that's a natural progression in football, and now I'm on the end where I can hopefully help them and guide them.
Philip, I can ask you, Wayne's going to be joining you in January. If all goes well for you, you'll be in a position there ready to push on. How much of an impact can Wayne have at that stage of the season for you?
Yeah, of course, could be of great influence. When joining us in January, on the pitch and off the pitch, and the decisions will be made. If you look at recent years in March, April, so we have to make sure we are in a good position in that moment, and well, we're going to fight for it.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, now from broadcast, radio. No, okay, that's fine. Thank you very much indeed. What we're going to do now then